Welcome to A Journey into Yoga. I'm Susan Rubenstein. So the word yoga, we hear it many times in many different places. We hear it in conversation. Oh, I've started taking a yoga class. I'm on my way to yoga. I'm thinking about taking yoga. My doctors recommended that I try yoga. So what really is yoga? Well, we could go back thousands and thousands of years and explore where it came from, giving us some of the lineage and the ideas so we get a better understanding. But to keep it simple, yoga is about taking care of you. Yoga is a way of moving. Yoga is a way of learning about breath work. Yoga is a way to care for yourself from the inside out. Yoga can bring about a sense of calm when we bring it into our everyday life, even when we're off the mat. So today we're going to explore yoga and you, a way to bring some of the different elements and aspects of yoga into your everyday life, not necessarily needing a full half hour or an hour, maybe just 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes of exploring what yoga is. So what I'm going to take you on today in the Yoga for You journey is a way that you can understand how to breathe a little better during difficult times, how you can make your body feel a little bit more open and get a good stretch in when we're feeling tired, sluggish, stiff, achy. And yoga is also a great way to take better care of yourself. Say if you have high blood pressure, or if you're learning how to better care for yourself. You even sometimes hear about yoga for weight loss. It's not necessarily that it's a plan to lose weight and we're going to talk about nutrition and a diet. But what it does is at any time we think about taking better care of ourselves, we're going to make better choices. If I do yoga, then I might think about reaching for something healthier to fuel my body later on. So those are just some of the ways of exploring what yoga is. Now, just to get into the definition, yoga meaning union or yoke. And a wonderful way to describe that is bringing body, mind, and breath together in that union and bringing it into you, bringing it into your heart space, into your body, into your being. So all I suggest that is you come to your yoga practice comfortable. Put yourself in a situation, whether you're standing or you choose to do this in a chair, you feel secure. You may want to bring along a water bottle and a towel if you're going to participate in the whole thing with the practice. Remind yourself not to rush, to take your time. If you're enjoying a pose or a particular way of breathing, stay back and enjoy that for a little bit of time and then join in with us when you're ready. All right, shall we begin? So we're going to start with just how we stand. I want you just to glance down slowly at your feet. Just kind of notice, are they straight and parallel to one another? If they're not, walk them in and then just lift and lower your feet off the ground. We're walking in place. And then I want you to slowly release your feet to the ground. Spread your toes. Feel how you center your weight now through the heels, through the balls of the feet. Now think about lifting up through your arches. Toning through your legs, which doesn't mean lock the knees. We want to feel a softness to our knees, but a tone through our thighs, the bigger muscles. And then the hips, the pelvis, facing forward. So we have these hip bones. It's a good way just to gauge keeping your hips facing forward. Now, with our shoulders, we want to have them right above the hips. So there's this nice square we're working with. And then the ears, plumb line right down to the shoulders to the hips to the ankles and feet. Beautiful. Let's take the shoulders up, back, and down. So now we've opened up our front body to work on our breathing. Place your hands onto your belly. Close your eyes if you're comfortable or soften your gaze. Good. Now I just want you to notice the breath Is it in your belly? Can you feel it? Is your belly moving? So together I want you to visualize a balloon. We're going to blow up this balloon as we inhale, allowing the belly to expand and become full. At the top of that inhale, we'll pause just for a brief second. And then upon exhaling, we'll let the air out of the balloon, feeling the belly come in, navel to spine. Let's do that again. Deep breath in as we expand the belly. Feel the fullness. Feel how it opens our waist, our back ribs. And then exhaling, it wanders back in. One more time, breathe in. And with ease, we breathe out. Good. So that is working with our belly breath. Above that are our ribs. So what I want you to think about doing when you breathe is including expanding the ribs on top of the belly. So let's place one hand on the belly and one hand just on our rib cage. We'll take a deep breath in, expand the belly, expand the ribs, and then breathe out. You might feel this a little bit more if you place your hands right along the side of your waist. Take a deep breath in, breathe into your belly, breathe into the ribs, feel how they expand out laterally. And then breathe out. Good. And then finally, our chest. Many times we find, just in the normal functions of our daily life, tasks, working, busy, all the things that go on, feeling anxious at times, frustrated, or even excited, we breathe shallow. So with a shallow breath, everything below that stays tight, stays dormant. We need to wake that up. So truly, the heart space right along this chest area should be the quietest of the breath. So we breathe in from the belly, expanding. We expand from the ribs. And then softly we come across the chest with the breath. And then exhale, we breathe all of that down. So now think about that breath. Breathing in from the belly, but feel it rise up through your feet, through your legs, moving up right up to your shoulders, and then bringing it back down. You can include this hand movement if you'd like. We breathe in, we slowly expand, bringing energy and vitality into our being. And then when we breathe out, we feel a sense of calm, of rooting down, connecting to the earth, feeling balanced. So this is really a nice way to work on the breath. You don't have to necessarily be in your yoga zone or your yoga mood. You can do this at your desk. What about when you're at a stoplight? Can you take just that time while the light is red and pause to breathe? Can a stop sign remind you to stop and breathe? Even a yield sign sometimes gets me to think, okay, I'm yielding, and before I go on, I'm just going to connect with my breath and continue my journey. Good. Now, let's move. Inhale, arms all the way up. So we're coming into life, standing tall. We'll lift the chin, careful of the neck. Exhale the arms down. And again, inhale. So moving from you, moving right through your body. And exhale. See how we could be doing this in a chair if that works better for you. Let's do 2 more. And again. One more time, take that breath in, reaching all the way up. Good, and breathing out. Now, we're going to alternate reaching the arms up. So inhale, reach the right arm up. Turn the palm out, and then exhale, press it down by your side. Left side reaches. Turn the palm out, press down. Good, right side again, inhaling. Exhaling, and this last time we inhale. Turning the palm out and exhale. Good. Now, a little bit of energy through the legs. We're going to let the knees bend, feeling spongy. Inhale, scooping up. Turn the palms out. Good. So imagine you're just scooping a basket up from the ground, lifting up. Exhaling. Again, moving from you, with you. Good. One more time. Breathe in. Reaching up and then breathing out. Nice. All right. So we're standing in what we call mountain pose. Let's start to transform ourselves into a few different poses. I invite you to step your left leg back. Notice when I do this, I keep the hips and the shoulders squared to the front. My back foot turns slightly out. Leg is straight and toned. I'm going to bend the front knee into a soft lunge. We're going to reach the arms up. And then let's turn those palms out and then press down and slightly back. Why am I having you do this? So again, you can connect with that full breath. So think about breathing into the belly, the ribs, quietly across the chest, and breathing out. Now, let's carry the arms up and do the same thing with the breath. So questions sometimes are asked, how long should I be inhaling and exhaling? And that's a very good question. So sometimes you might be starting with learning the breathing techniques, and it might be only 3 or 4 seconds on each end. Over time, when you feel more centered and relaxed, your breath may last as you inhale for 5 to 7 seconds, and then complement the same way as you breathe out. But as long as we're not breathing shallow, we're in good shape. Now let's reach the arms down. I'm going to bring your hands out in front. Now, we're just going to inhale. We're going to sweep this arm back, reaching forward. Exhale, press out in front. Good. Other side, inhaling. So notice how I'm not moving the hips. I'm using some rotation through my torso, through my upper body. Good. Again. Nice. And then sweep the arms back up. So I always like to bring a little bit of flow into my practice while still maintaining a good solid foundation in the pose I've chosen. So as you can see, from our hips to our legs, even our torso, it's pretty still. And then we're very active in the arms. Good. Now we're going to slowly straighten the front leg. Walk your hands onto your thigh. As you do this, feel a balance in the hips. Let the eyes reach forward. So we're just doing a tabletop fold. Take another deep breath here. Notice how it's stretching the back of your front leg. Bend the knee and come back up. Good. Reach up tall. Slide your hands to the side. Step back in. Nicely done. Now let's invite the other foot to come back. Again, keep the hips square. You might have one hip that's a little tight, or the side is tighter than the other, so you need to make adjustments and room for that. Let's take the arms up. Press the palms out. Good. And then press down. Let's open up the chest. And then let's carry the breath from the belly. Nice. As you're breathing, remind yourself to explore how other parts of your body are feeling. Maybe you're someone that holds a lot of tension in your shoulders. Can you draw them down? Maybe you just need to slowly turn your head from side to side in a very gentle no to release tension in your neck. Sometimes moving the head up and down helps. And maybe you're someone like myself that holds tension along the jawline. So it's good to move the jaw. Get the teeth to move forward and back. It feels good. And then inhale, reach the arms up. Beautiful. Let's lace the fingers on this one and press the palms up towards the sky. So we're feeling the tone in the leg. That front leg is working. The muscles are working. So when we go back to what is yoga? Yoga brings tone to our body, to our muscles. So there are a lot of fabulous ways of getting into better shape through yoga. There are also many styles. Now slowly straighten the front leg. Be mindful of hinging forward. A nice flat lower back. You can feel it with your hand. Eyes softly out, reaching through the back of the skull. Make sure your hand is on the fleshier part of your thigh, your upper thigh. And then we're going to bend the knees, sweep the arms all the way up again, reaching tall. Good. And then bring the hands in and step together. Beautiful. Inhale, bend the knees, reach up. Exhale now. Press the palms back. Bend the knees. We're going to drop chest towards thighs, gazing out. And then inhale, imagine scooping that basket up once again. Come to standing. Exhale, hands in. Inhale, sweep up. Bend the knees, pressing back, reaching out. Good. Now scoop forward, draw the energy up through the legs. Come up. Hands down. Let's do that twice more. Connect with your breath. Let your breath travel through your body. Good. Sweeping up. Hands in. One more time. Really feel that life come through the legs. Bending the knees, sweeping. Coming all the way up. Now I'm going to keep the knees bent. So here we go into a little bit of a challenge pose. Drop the arms slowly out. So the shoulders come down. Now if holding your arms up is pulling the shoulders and tensing up the back, try bending the elbows out to your side and slightly back. Or again, like before, when we were in Warrior One, let's take the palms back. So this is chair pose. So the idea is to draw those hips back as if you were sitting on a fairly high chair or the edge of it. Ribs are lifted so we connect with the breath. Explore where your arms can be. Take the arms out in front, good. And let's open. Come back to center. Open again. So see how we can bring back some wonderful spinal rotation while we're exploring our practice. Good. Let's do this twice more. Last time. Good. Now I'm going to stand all the way up, inhaling. Exhale, hands together. So we all need a little balance in our lives. We hear that word a lot. Oh, I just need some balance, some time to be. So balance is something that we need to practice, finding time to have balance in our lives, taking care of ourselves and taking care of other people. If we're not taking care of ourselves the right way, it's exhausting to take care of somebody else or other tasks or other responsibilities. So one thing I like to do when the world is just spinning all around me and I'm feeling like I can't catch a moment is to just stand and then gently move on to one foot, because it causes everything in my mind to quiet down. My body can't help but connect with itself. My mind has to know what I'm doing, and my breath helps hold me and support me. So we're just going to shift to one leg. And all I want you to do today is just bring the knee out in front. Now, if you're just learning balance, you might want to do this near a pair of stairs. Start with one foot, maybe a couple steps up, and then see about lifting it away so you know you've got that support. Balance should be practiced 2 minutes every day. So I say we should be brushing our teeth for 2 minutes a day, right? 1 minute on the top, 1 minute on the bottom. So that guarantees that we can get both sides. Maybe sometimes it's nice to turn the knee out and come into what we call in yoga tree. And sometimes we like to explore different variations of warrior. This being warrior prelude, leg back. You can open arms up. It feels good to balance. It helps me to feel more connected to my world, the earth. So we'll stand, come together. Sometimes we need to just shake those legs out. So remember, we don't want to lock the knees. Always think about keeping the back of the knee slightly spongy, giving it some space. Now we'll set the feet down, breathe in, and through an exhale, I'm going to open the palms this time and carry the knee in front. Good. Steadying the gaze. So it's a good idea just to have something to focus on. Maybe I'll find my way into tree. And then maybe I'll explore coming into warrior prelude. Let the breath flow. And then yield the feet into the ground. Beautiful. Stretch up. and down. So now we're going to come down onto our knees. So if anyone needs to place something underneath, you might want to put a blanket or a towel or fold your mat up. As we come down onto our knees, we're going to be working from the middle of our mat on the knees. So from the kneecaps, arms are going to reach all the way up to the sky. We reach up high, we bring the arms down. So again, inhaling to stretch all the way up, exhaling down. 2 more times, inhaling, exhaling. Now on this last one, we're going to take a deep breath in. I'm going to invite you now to flow over to the side. Get a nice long side stretch here. Notice how the ribs lift from the hips. Reaching up, we inhale. Exhale to the other side. Beautiful. Inhale to come up. Now we're going to bring our hands right along our lower back. So I'm just going to turn so you can see that. Right along what we call the sacrum. The heels of the hands are just going to draw that flesh down. Now, if we open the front of the thighs, we're going to lift up gently through the chest. So this is just an abbreviated version of camel. Head can be center. Maybe it feels good to let the head draw back. Remind yourself when you're bringing your head back, though, you're taking an additional 15 or so pounds back with you. And that can put a lot of pressure against your neck, your cervical spine. So be careful, be smart. But this feels nice because I get to open from the thighs to the hip flexors, the creases right here, all the way up the ribs, blossoming across my chest. Feels good against opening the chin. I get to relax the jaw, soften the brow. So there's all these great things going on. Feel free too to clasp your hands behind you. Breathe a couple more times through the pose. That's what we call them in yoga. Asanas are poses. They're shapes. Or sometimes they're shapes inside of shapes. Now slowly release. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Good. All right. So from the knees, I'm going to sit down. Take a moment to stretch my legs all the way out. Oh, this feels good. So depending on how much time you have, it's always good to have a beginning, a middle, and then an end. So it's fun to start maybe standing and then take some balance into your poses, take some of the stretching, and then come down into a quieter place. So what I want you to do right now is legs are very toned. Put your hands on your thighs, lift your ribs. Now without jetting your chin forward, slowly hinge right here from the hips and then pause. Notice how that feels on your back. So we want to try to maintain what we call the integrity of the spine. Now take another step out further with your hands. Can you maintain the same healthy shape in your spine? Now if all feels good and you have experience with seated forward folds, maybe now we're able to take hold of the feet, hook onto the big toes, but remind yourself to broaden the collarbones. Let the elbows flow out and just catch the breath. Hold it in your palm or imagine holding it in your palm. Breathing in and slowly breathing out. Good. Come all the way up. Breathe in. Now as you breathe out, I want you to slide your left foot in. You're going to either keep the foot alongside your leg or for a deeper hip release, an outer hip as well, cross over. Now, options are to hug the knee in towards the arm and towards the chest or hook the elbow. This is allowing you now to go into a deeper spiral into the back. And this is great to release tension in the belly. So we'll do that a few more moments, breathing in and breathing out. And then our journey is going to take us around to center. We hold this position, come up. We breathe out. And then we'll go to the other side. Slide the leg out, cross, turn. This is nice to do if you've sat for a long period of time during the day and your back gets stiff. just to sit on the floor, a soft surface, come into a twist. So as you can see, there are many different things that we can bring into our day through yoga. And it doesn't have to be fancy or complicated. We did some basic things today, from standing to working on our breath, to Warrior One, giving us a great leg, hip, and spine stretch while actively moving our arms and getting the fluids through the body. We came down, we did some side bends, we did some twists, some seated forward folds. We can take the feet together, loosening up the hips here. Just letting the knees flow up and down. So yoga for you is really about you. Yoga can be anything. It can be just sitting and breathing. It can be stretching your neck for a few moments. But it's bringing the mindfulness into your practice. And we hear that word so often, mindfulness. And all it is being present, being there with what you're doing. So let's take our hands, turn them right against the knees. And we're going to take the shoulders back, lift through the crown of the head. So as we start to fade into our final moments of our practice, I just want you to leave today's practice knowing that you can go back to it a few minutes from now, an hour from now, tomorrow, the next day, whenever. It's there for you. Remind yourself to go to that place that really nourishes you each and every day. And you'll feel happier. Your life will be in a better place because you're taking care of you. So as we bring our hands together, I truly thank you for this time. So reminding ourselves to care from the inside out is so important. I thank you for joining me. And from my journey to yours, namaste.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.